We're finally there! It's October the 19th and it is the first day of the season. We've got some transfers to talk about, folks. Yes, we've been raiding the Hound Dogs, of course we have. Where else were we going to go? Hello, my name's Damien, I'm the Trucking Foot Manager. Welcome back to college 1975, and God, it's a relief to be playing some club football. We'll get there in a minute anyway. We've got a lot of transfers to talk about first. Nothing else has happened. It was last week that we beat Malta. Not got a lot to talk about, so let's just get right on with it. Transfers-wise, you remember me talking to you about how our reputation was so bad we couldn't poach players off Hound Dogs? Our reputation's got up a bit, so we can now poach players off Hound Dogs. I also mentioned about how the international players who don't have a club wouldn't sign for me. You'll remember Dale Coling, the goalkeeper. He was not interested in coming to me, even though no one else wanted him. And that's now been the case with Louis Annesley, and it's been the case with a few others. So, yeah. It's hard work finding players who want to play for us, but we have found a few. First of all, let's talk about players who have gone. Towards the end of last season, we released Rio Dayal. We talked about him. He's worth clicking on, come on. Has he found a club yet? He's gone to Lynx, so Lynx aren't interested in selling him as well. He played a fair few games for us, but he is English, and therefore he was screwing up our permissions and our, squad registration rules, and it's just easier not to have the problem. And we're paying him a wage, so it's easier to stop doing that. Then he's not getting 130 quid a week, so he's quite happy with life, I'm sure. Kevin Ramos has gone, basically same reasons. No, he is full Gibraltar, I think, yes. But, I'll keep pressing the wrong button, there we go. Just not quite good enough. And in terms of the defenders, we probably have better than this. Well, we do have better than this, and it just wasn't worth keeping it on. Some of the stats are good, the tackling is very good, but heading 8, marking 9, jumping reach 8, they're all mediocre. So, we've decided to let him go. He's got a non-contract at Glasses United now. Leighton Marquez, bless him. He was a mistake to sign. He wasn't ever really good enough for us. Played 9 times, scored 1. I signed him halfway through the first season when I had no striking options apart from Mahmoud, without realising it was going to take till the summer to sign him, and by then we'd sign better. Obviously with the Hound Dogs, 14 and 16 at one point, a lovely performance, but wasn't even getting in the side for the reserves. A good sign. He's gone, and Jeremy Lopez has retired. What his ability was, I don't know. I don't think we knew who he was, to be fair. He may never have been mine. That could be it. I think I brought him in on trial, and he retired while he was on trial, so it thought he was mine. Apart from that, let's get on with the good stuff. Byron Espinoza was poached by Europa Point. Right winger with a little bit of pace, but not a lot else. He did get a few games at right wing. Well, 20 in 2 seasons. So, far from the best. When Europa Point came in for him, I didn't compete for him, really. And he's in the reserves for them now, so it's obviously not a disaster. Now, inbound, important stuff. Dale Coling has finally agreed. It took a year of him being out of a job for him to agree to be my goalkeeper. He's probably still the best goalkeeper we've got. He's probably... He is better than... I always forget his name. Is it Lopez? Yeah. He probably is better. But I wish I hadn't taken a year for him to come in, because I think he's deteriorated quite badly in that year. We're paying him £230 a week. If we cared about our wages, that's far too much, but we simply aren't anywhere near our wage budget, so why not? He's a good goalkeeper, and he's Gibraltar through and through. Ashton Wannon is a striker, kind of. He's gone in the resis, as you can see. Determination 17, but that's about it. At 20 years old, his physical should be better than that, and his mental should be on the way up, and they're kind of not. So this one might not work out, but we're not paying him anything. He's been at the Magpies. Before that, he was at Lincoln. But he was playing for Magpies first team a couple of times, and he's played twice for the Rezzies for us, got an assist. He might turn into something. We then poached Danny Murphy off for Hound Dogs. He's not as good as I remember him. He's also suspended, so fair play to him. Right back who can tackle and with some reasonable technique, but with a determination of only 8. Means, and I think that's plummeted. I'm sure that was better than that when we had him. And the physicals that are all single digits mean he might not actually turn out to be worth the effort. But he's come in from Hound Dogs where he played, 21 times. And he's played 5 times for us already in the Rezzies. And he's looked okay, 7.1 rating. He may get a game in the first team, I don't know. Nicholas Gilbert is a 17-year-old centre-forward from somewhere. Glasses? Man 62. By the way, the name fixes are in if you haven't noticed already. Physicals, again, ropey. But he's reasonably determined. He's 17 years old with a 15 finishing, 10 composure. I'm okay with that. Man 62, 3 appearances for the first team. 2 goals and 2 appearances for the Rezzies. That'll do me quite nicely. Is he ready? No, of course he's not. But one day, maybe? Maybe not. Another one we poached off Hound Dogs is Robbie Mullen. This one's a bit better. Left back, determination of 11 and climbing. Marking and tackling and technique and passing and decision making and concentration and positioning and aggression and anticipation, all in double digits at 17. This guy's on 40 quid a week until the end of this season, and if I could have signed that for longer, I would have. What a player he is. He's pretty much, I would say, already first team quality. In fact, is he not in the first team? Well, he is now. Very, very solid left back option. Just needs to be quicker, really. All he needs is a bit of pace. In fact, looking at that, training, additional focus, quickness. There we go. I bet it won't work. It never does, but we'll try. Where was I? Robin Mullen. Jace Consigliero is a midfielder of all flavours. He thinks he's a wide midfielder, but he's not really quick enough for that. But if we look at him as a centre mid, off the ball, technique, good. First touch, dribbling, good. Anticipation, good. Needs to learn to pass. 40 quid. Again, Gibraltar through and through, and that's important. He's been at the Red Imps, and he's been at the Lions and the Boca Juniors, who no longer exist. Magpies, etc., etc., etc. A good player. 27, maybe older than I want, but he's a midfield option, and we were a bit short of those. JC Pereira is a right winger, kind of. This one might have turned out to be a mistake, but he's an emergency backup that we're not paying any money to. 10 finishing, 11 first touch, 10 dribbling. Maybe there's an advanced forward in there somewhere. But there probably isn't. He'll sit in the reserves. Oh no, hang on. He'll sit. Why isn't he sitting in the reserves? Go sit in the reserves. Until he gets a bit better, if he gets a bit better. Might be a mistake. Again, not paying him a penny. Who cares? Moving on to this season. And this is where it starts to get a bit prettier, I have to say. Tom Hewlett comes in from Lynx on a free. 70 quid a week. Finishing 9, composure 12, first touch 14, decision 13. A good solid striker. Maybe a bit slow, but a good solid striker all the same. Got one of those faces that you really want to punch. I'm sorry, Tom, if you're watching. I do apologise. It's just one of those. Jeremy Clarkson smug face. It's not good. Burton Albion, Hensford and Rutshall are the teams he's played for in England, so he's not Gibraltarian, but at this point it shouldn't matter so much. Lynx. Then he's scored 8, 3 assists and 4 man of the matches in 9 appearances for our reserves. Tells you a lot, I think. Bearing in mind that we could lose to quite a lot of those teams. Brendan Ramage comes in from the Lions. And again, a little bit slow, and that's a shame because finishing 13, composure 12, first touch 13, determination 12, 22 years old, a good solid player. Plenty of room for improvement. He was at the Lions forever. But look at that, 6 in 12 in the first team 2 years ago. 3 and 6 in the first team last year. 5 and 7 for us in the reserves. Good, solid striker. Sykes Garrow. I missed one, didn't I? I'll go back to him. Sykes Garrow is a 31-year-old centre mid. I'd rather not sign players this old, but passing 14, technique 13. At centre mid as a sitting centre mid, the physicals don't matter so much, and the mentals are brilliant, so why not? 85 quid a week. He's coming for St Joseph's, but Lincoln, Europa, Lions, and Lions Pilots, which I assume means reserves. But first team for St Joseph's, 3 seasons in a row for pretty much full seasons. Looks like a decent player to me. And finally, the one I'm most excited about, Emmanuel Williams. We saw him come into the first team for the national side. Then he lost his job at Lincoln. Damn it. Scored 16 and 28 for Lincoln over 2 years, and then they didn't renew his contract. Bit harsh. Reasonably quick. Like 10 pace isn't great, but everything else around it is good. Finishing 12th, composure 11. Very, very good striker. He wouldn't consider talking to us, and then suddenly he would. I was very excited. But yeah, last year, I don't know what you have to do to get a contract at Lincoln, because 12 goals in 16 appearances, with 2 assists and 2 man of the matches, didn't get him a contract. Seems rather harsh. But yeah, we have striking options up the wazoo now, which means that, bless him, poor Mahmoud probably won't get much of a game this year. Oh yeah, I missed Adam Leathers, sorry. English centre mid from the Hound Dogs. Again, more because I needed a centre mid than because he's actually any good. Leicester, Wickham, then Leamington and the Hound Dogs. It's a fall, isn't it, right there? Although, obviously, he didn't play for Leicester or Wickham. But for Hound Dogs in the lower league last year, 3 goals, 3 assists and 16 appearances from midfield. That'll do. I think we've got a good side here. The only problem is that team cohesion's not there. And we've talked this before. There's not enough time to start slowly. We have to finish top half. Suddenly, and without any kind of warning, the board have decided we're finishing in the Europa League. Sorry, Europa Conference League, but still. That came out of absolutely nowhere. I came back from the summer and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, are you going to finish the Conference League? Yeah? I told them I was interested in trying for that in a couple of years, and they said, no, we won't even consider it, don't be so stupid. And yet, here we are. Semi-final of the Rock Cup as well. Contract up at the end of the year. But we are still, 1,500 quid, 1,300 quid away from our wage budget limits. We should be fine. And we should get up there. We should get into this, the suspensions. Look at all these right backs we haven't got. We're starting with Griffiths at right back, and that's not a good sign. What's a better right wing than that, isn't it? No? No, it's Adams. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the squad's quite big. Huart doesn't get in it, but he does, because Mahmoud's the one I'm going to drop. And to be fair, I'm seriously considering dropping him outside. What's his unused substitute fee? 2 quid. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, I'm not too worried anymore. So it'll be Coling in goal with Salika, Anaya, Yates and Griffiths as the back 4. The star ratings make that look like a really bad back 4, but it's not. It's actually quite a good back 4. It's just that with Williams and Anaya and Coling, it just skews everything else out of whack with the star ratings. And don't forget, we've got Hopper and we've got Mullen coming back into the side. So it's a very good defence. Today might not be the day where it proves that, but it is a very good defence we've got. Garrow and Leathers are the midfield too. Batista and Adams are the wingers. Williams and Hewlett are up top. It's going to be interesting to see how we get on. Let's go find out. There's obviously cohesion issues and there's obviously familiarity with the tactics. That'll go fairly quickly. But again, we've got 10 games before... We've got 10 games before the league splits and we cannot afford to be in the bottom half. We've got a contract to try and win. Credit to the players. How hard is the fan recent fixture? This is literally the first season. What are you going on about? No idea what you're talking about. Are we confident? Yes. It's Lions Gibraltar. We haven't played them since last year because they were in the top half. One of our players got lost again. It's interesting, actually. I don't know if it's because I was jiggling around with the data files or whatever, but at the last minute, it suddenly decided we finished 4th last year. Because it just removed that line and just jolted all the teams back to what their points total got them. And that's a bit weird. Whoops. Wrong button. Go away. And then demand more. That's what I wanted. We're having the most of the shots. Collins from their right back position, short to Baxter. I had an image of Jose Baxter in my head then. It's probably not him. Big ball forward. Anaya has time and space. Turn and pick a pass. And there's Garrow sitting deep. Lovely stuff. Leathers it to Williams. Sorry, I had to. Bautista hits one off the woodwork and McGrail, the Scottish Holy Chalice, boots it out of play. Griffiths to Garrow, back to Griffiths, early ball in. Yates is under it and Yates scores, and that is a good start. 22nd minute. Liam Yates, who realistically is going to find it difficult to break into the 11 this year, is probably only playing because of a suspension, and yet scores a goal. Maybe I'm going to keep playing him after all. But yeah, it's very important for both you and for me to not pay too much attention to those star ratings because they're not accurate. Like I say, Coling, Williams, and Anaya are so much better than everyone else in the squad, but the rest of the star ratings are basically worthless. Leathers shorts to Williams. Goes on for the overlap. Hewlett could find him. He still played on side by the fullback, but I don't think anyone realised. Anaya strides into the opposition half. Loads of players in front of him. Leathers out wide to Bautista. Goes on the run, doesn't commit. Bautista puts in the cross deep, and it's Adams underneath, and it's just off the top of the crossbar. And praise is going out because we're playing very, very well. Win the league? Do you fancy it? Salika with the throw in. The funny thing is, we are going to be in a worse position finishing top half than bottom half because Williams cuts it back. Hewlett Packard, the printer scores us the goal. He'll be printing us goal. Never mind. Because if we finish top of the second group, then we win 270 grand. The only other way of winning 270 grand is to finish top of the first group. Because again, it's broken. So finishing 6th gets you 250 grand less than finishing 7th. It's not good. But we have to go and try and turn this club into a big one. Lions are one of those teams that have been in Europe this year. I believe they won a cup. I'm not sure. Griffiths hits a free kick. And it's woodwork. And Williams can tap in. And that's his first goal. Looks like it's going to be an offside. It is an offside. Oh, Williams. What a waste of money. Never mind. I'm joking. Is he off? He is off just, isn't he? Which you have to say is poor. If you know the forward's going to shoot, why are you even considering being offside? Lions' goal difference, XG is 0.06. So, outstretched arms. What a 45 minutes, you've blown them away. And if we can play like this for the season, and I know I'm asking a lot, I know we've got some big teams to play against, but we haven't beaten Lions ever. So, this is already a better start than we've ever had. Griffiths is over a free kick. Come on, right back, tuck it in. The goalkeeper's in completely the wrong place, isn't he? Yes, he is. Callum Griffiths, top corner. Told you he's a good right back. 3-0 up. And yes, it's only Lions. They're not the very best, I know. They're not one of the top 4, probably. We're probably not going to do this against Europa. We're probably not going to do this against St. Joseph's or against Lincoln. But we don't need to. We can qualify for the Conference League by finishing 4th. 5th if we're really lucky. Griffiths hits another free kick and this one hits the post. Bassano Anez will bring it away. And hoops it down the line. That's the end of that highlight. 70th minute. Time for some shake it up changes. Huart can come on for Williams, who's knackered. Really got enough subs. Leathers off and Conciliero on. Actually, I don't want to give him a... yeah, we'll give him a debut. Why not? And then Jack Muir can play right wing instead of Adams, who will go left wing, and then we'll do that. Muir is not a very good right winger because he doesn't know how to play right wing, not because he's not a good player. But we're not going to play him attacking mid-centre because we don't. Garrow to Griffiths. Leathers to Garrow. There's so many Leathers it puns, and he's just not shooting. Over the top. Breakspear. No, it's Hewlett who headed it out for a goal kick. Not sure why that warranted a highlight. Chuck some more praise out there. We're doing very, very well. 12 minutes to play. 3-0 up. They haven't hit the target yet. They've still got their 0.06 of a goal difference. And as it stands, this is about as good as we could have hoped for. Jose Murray to Martin. Big ball out and Griffiths does not react. Cowling crosses it back and it's well held by Coling. What a save that is. Coling with the big boot. And Hewlett flicks it on. Huart is under it. Can he take on his man? Has a go and yeah, alright, I've told him to shoot on sight. That's my fault. A little bit less panicking, we could have had a chance. Duarte Chipol crosses it in and it's a good header, and that's just wide from Jose Murray. And they have had some chances then, just in this end here. But one solid save from our goalkeeper, and that's all it took. Outstretched arms, that's about as comprehensive as it gets. A 3-0 win away against the Lions, and I can be excited about this season now, can't I? Well, I'm going to be, whether you like it or not. Garrow, Coling, and Conciliero make debuts. Leather's got a debut, surely. Apparently not. That is going to wind it up. I know it's a bit of a shorter episode, but then I know they have been recently, but it's just the way it's fallen. Let's do the press conference. Hewlett, yes, he's brilliant. Who? Callum Griffiths. I wouldn't swap him for Akraf Hakimi. Well, I wouldn't, but I'm not talking about Mark Evans. There we go. Right. Schedule-wise, we've got Lincoln next. We really don't want to come back for next game because we're also going to have to come back for Faroe Islands is November 15th and Andorra is November 18th. I'll probably just come back for Andorra and then Europa Point on November 24th. That sounds like a good pair, doesn't it? We'll do that then. So we'll see you there. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this one, please do like, sub up if you're new, and I'll see you on whatever the next day is because I've recorded a lot of these now and I've lost track. See you soon. Bye-bye.